Sagicor Bank is
7.
Hey, what I want?
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
What a guan?
What I want?
That's a go on, pa.
What I want? What I want?
What a one! Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m.
on CVM TV.
That's a go on, what's a go on?
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
So when I wake up in the morning, I say a word of prayer. Tap, 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 tap. Yo, this is yours truly, The Image, and I'm representing for CVM. See it happen. You hear that? CVM what? See it happen. Listen, keep it locked.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
CVM News at 7 Headlines Thursday. Brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Coming up in CVM News at 7, government launches phase 2 of its Spark program, but a specific date for roadworks to begin is still unknown. Ascot Apartheid. Videos emerge showing the controversial segregation of the primary school's graduating class. One organization is calling for the principal's immediate resignation. Also in Query This asks, can you claim a house built on your spouse's land? And later in the business report, the enduring partnership of Jamaica and Canada. Then in sports, more money coming for grassroots cricket, according to Sports Minister.
CVM News at 7 Headlines Thursday. Brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Hi! Oh, where's everybody? Well, Jackson is doing homework. Atlas and Oz are playing games. Ivy is taking a nap. Of course, Wayne and Gio are doing Wayne and Gio things.
They can't stop this.
Your Wi-Fi is so strong.
Home internet with smart Wi-Fi gives us wall-to-wall connectivity.
With Yacht and Road Plus, get gig speed, fiber-fast internet, smart Wi-Fi, plus unlimited mobile on the go. All for the special offer of only $6,999 plus GCT a month. Visit a Flow store today.
For the moments
that are best enjoyed with your hands. Enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Could I drive out fresh in a MG ride with a staycation all-inclusive flex? Yeah. I thought I million cash. Yes. Smart TV, PS5, and home upgrade.
Turn up your winnings this summer with Digicel. Sign up for Switch to Postpaid or Digicel Plus. Buy a SIM. Top up with 5 bills or more. Buy a 7-day plan or higher. A smartphone deal or just pay your bill. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period June 24 to September 5, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for terms and
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Thursday, July 2, 2026. I'm Amoy Harriet, and thank you for joining us. Up first this evening, House Speaker Juliet Holness's decision to not table the latest Integrity Commission's annual report in Parliament this week has again drew the anger of Opposition Leader Mark Golding. Kevin Black has the details.
The Integrity Commission advised the public that it submitted its 8th annual report to Parliament on Monday, June 29th. During Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives, House Speaker Juliet Holness ruled that the Commission's annual report would not be tabled during that sitting of the lower house.
Please read the ruling of the Speaker as it relates to tabling of all documents that come to the Parliament. They have to be received by the Speaker first. I received that document only yesterday. So it's not just when it arrives at the Parliament, but also when it is received. I received it yesterday during yesterday's sitting. And in the ruling, I indicated as much. I am required to open and read any document that is submitted to the Parliament, not to just table what I've not seen.
When contacted by CVM News on Thursday, the House Speaker sought to explain that the Oversight Committee has 30 days to review the document and report to Parliament.
There is, as in keeping with the ruling and as in keeping with the Integrity Commission Act, tabling the report the following week from IC allows tabling in a reasonable time, which is what the ruling says.
But Opposition Leader and PNP President Mark Golding raised concerns about the ruling. Mr. Golding explained that the Integrity Commission Act requires the Commission's reports to be tabled as soon as possible after they are received by Parliament. He added that there is significant public interest in the report.
The annual report came here. The cover letter was published, as is their practice, so that everybody knows that something has come. And we were expecting to see it tabled today, and it wasn't. And the leader of opposition business wanted to ask why, in announcements, it wasn't tabled in light of that fact. He was not allowed even to ask the question. And we object most strongly to the way in which the proceedings of this House are being conducted, because they're being conducted in what appears to be a very partisan way, a manipulative way when it comes to sensitive political issues.
The opposition leader also said that the failure to allow the leader of opposition business, Philip Polwell, to speak on the issue of the Integrity Commission's annual report not being tabled was most improper and does not have the support of opposition MPs.
Because there's a strong public interest in the work of the Integrity Commission being facilitated to reduce corruption and other wrongs against the good governance of the country being perpetrated. And we on this side are going to always be assiduous about that. And when we attempt to do so and we're shut down, it's not a good look. It appears to be an attempt to use up the Parliament in a way which is inimical to the interests of good governance and democracy.
Kevin Black for CVM News.
In the meantime, political commentator and former House Speaker Lloyd B. Smith says he believes the Speaker of the House may be correct on this occasion, given the time frame in which the documents were presented to Parliament. But speaking moments ago on Lead Story, Mr. Smith noted that the opposition should insist that the documents be tabled at the earliest opportunity, preferably by the next sitting of Parliament.
Because it is indeed of tremendous public interest. I think any prolonged delay would create a great deal of suspicion and put the government in a very embarrassing position, as if it is seeking again to obfuscate But certainly at this point, I would want to suggest that a little leeway should be given to the Speaker in terms of when the report should be tabled.
Meanwhile, Parliament's Joint Select Committee is considering a series of recommendations to strengthen Jamaica's Child Diversion Act, including measures aimed at improving support for children in conflict with the law while reducing the need for court intervention. Kevin Black tells us more.
The Joint Select Committee reviewing the Child Diversion Act is examining proposed changes aimed at strengthening rehabilitation efforts for children in conflict with the law. The Act provides an alternative to the formal court process, allowing eligible children accused of certain offences to receive counselling, mentoring and other rehabilitative support instead of prosecution. Committee member Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert raised concerns about whether parish child diversion committees are sufficiently engaged with their communities, saying greater outreach could help identify and support at-risk children before they enter the justice system.
Has to be a way where the court insists, if it is that the child is supported, that the child doesn't move from there until that the child diversion officer comes to the ear or something. The child at 11 put in a place was there for 1 week before they got back to court. And mother not allowed to say. Mother lives in St. Anne, so by the time they tell you to come, it was not the visiting time, it was and the child is traumatized and locked up. So it makes a mockery of an act that you pass if it cannot, in fact, help the children.
Committee Chairman Delroy Chuck also called for closer coordination between the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, and the Child Diversion Program.
We don't want a complete overlap. You see, we want the CPFSA and the Child Diversion Committee to be close, working together. Now, the success, as I understand it, of the child diversion is because you have this committee that does a full assessment of the child and maps out a treatment plan for the child. So one of the things we really want to work with CPFSA, that deviant delinquent behavior really should be a part of the CPFSA mandate.
In the meantime, Chuck says the review is also examining changes that would expand referrals to the child diversion program and reduce the number of children who appear before the courts.
So once it is an offense in the schedule, then we don't want them to go to court. The DPP or the clerk should send them to child diversion. But if it is not in the schedule, then they may well have to be charged and let a recommendation go to the judge that this is not in the child diversion schedule because it's a serious offense, but the police or the child diversion or whoever could say to the court, this child could benefit from, child diversion treatment.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
It's time now for a break. CVM News at 7 continues in a moment.
Football season. Don't just watch the action, be part of it. With Chris and Charles' Score Big loan promotion, upgrade your TV, plan that trip, or handle what matters most. Fast and easy. And here's the best part. Every loan gives you a chance to win one of 3 58-inch smart 4K TVs. So while your favorite team scores on the field, you could be scoring big too. Promotion runs May 11 to July 20, 2026. Visit any branch or Chris and Charles for details. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Score big this football season on and off the field.
At Sagicor Investments, we don't chase the #1 spot. We set it as our standard.
We don't react to markets. We anticipate them, armed with deep research, sharp strategy, and a commitment to staying ahead.
My team and I are committed to delivering expert guidance that empowers clients to invest in confidence.
Our clients benefit from insight, access, and execution that only a true market leader
can provide. Ranked among the top investment companies for revenue generation and market activity for 10 consecutive years, winning 7 times.
We ranked number 1 in value trades on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. As Jamaica's largest unit trust fund manager, our Sigma Unit Trust Fund was valued at approximately $157 billion in 2025.
This level of consistency is not luck. It's the result of strategic vision. At Sadvicor Investments, number 1 is not something we strive for. It is our standard.
Welcome to the Pepsi Football Nation.
Rule number 1, it's called football, not soccer.
Rule number 2, they should get rid of VAR.
No. Every decision should go to VAR.
Write this down. Pepsi should be the official drink of the nation.
I love that. They won't agree on anything.
That's where Rule 100 kicks in. Everything gets settled on the pitch. What about you? What rule would you want?
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. We are continuing the news. We go now to a CVM News follow-up. Videos are now emerging from the recent controversial graduation ceremony at Ascot Primary School, where students who received lower scores in this year's PEP examinations were denied the opportunity to wear graduation gowns. The incident triggered widespread public condemnation, but the newly surfaced footage is now deepening public concern, with one organization calling for the school principal's immediate resignation. This is the moment the graduating class made its way into the ceremony. CVM News has blurred the video to protect the identity of the students. By our newsroom's count, at least 12 students in this video alone entered the ceremony without graduation gowns. They were positioned at the very back of the procession and later seated behind their gown-wearing classmates. Then, it was time for the graduates to sing their graduation song. The students without gowns were standing at the back of the group. The students sang, "I've done my best." But for those standing without gowns, it's clear their best was not good enough. The videos have sparked a fresh wave of public criticism towards the school's administration, especially outraged advocacy group Fluid Children Foundation. In a press release on Thursday, the foundation blasted the school's principal, Mark Jackson, arguing that publicly segregating children based on academic performance is discriminatory, damaging to their self-esteem, and contrary to their rights. The foundation says it also reviewed messages sent to the principal before the ceremony, in which a concerned parent warned that the decision would negatively affect the children's emotional well-being. In response, it's being alleged that the principal described the situation as, quote, a hard pill to swallow, but said the approach would encourage students to work harder. The foundation is now calling for Mr. Jackson to resign immediately. Sabrina Barnes is Youth Policy Committee Chair at the foundation.
The public humiliation of children has no place in Jamaica's education system. No child should be singled out or treated differently at a graduation ceremony because of their academic performance. Schools are meant to nurture every child's dignity, build confidence, and celebrate each student's progress. Educational leaders are entrusted with protecting the rights, dignity, and well-being of every child. When those responsibilities are undermined, accountability and not a mere apology is required. In light of the seriousness of this incident, the Fluid Children Foundation believes the only appropriate course of action is for Principal Jackson to tender his immediate resignation. We will continue to stand firmly for the rights and best interests of every child.
But there are mixed reactions in the public domain, with some social media users agreeing with calls for Mr. Jackson to step aside, while others argue this sanction would be too extreme. One user on Instagram wrote, quote, "Yes, I back this call. He helped to psychologically damage the students. How can he be trusted to remain in charge of students? Apologies cannot remove the stigma now." Another said, quote,
I understand the plight, but that's not the answer. And if they fire him, all the other principals who condone some form of segregation in the classroom should be fired, including teachers who group students in bright and not so bright classes. Now, our newsroom contacted Principal Jackson, who declined our request for comment. American educator Elizabeth Brannan says Jamaica could adopt certain teaching methods from the United States to strengthen its education system. The Brannans, Elizabeth and her husband John, have been on a mission to improve academics for students in several inner-city communities across Jamaica since 2017. More details in this report.
In service to students in several inner-city schools and interacting with education stakeholders has gifted this educator new perspectives. Speaking on the need for practical classroom reforms, she suggests some North American approaches could be useful in improving student learning and teaching efficiency in Jamaican schools.
Integrating subject areas. So, for example, when a teacher is teaching reading skills, it's good to teach just books and like fictional stories, but you can also incorporate nonfiction that maybe if they're studying countries of the world in social studies, their reading lesson can be reading a book about countries of the world. So you're integrating subject areas, which really help students learn and see connections.
Mr. and Mrs. Brannan found that school supplies in Jamaica could be very expensive, adding that the cost was putting pressure on many families. Parents themselves, they accept basic items such as notebooks, pens, and uniforms can quickly add up, making it harder for parents to prepare their children for the new school term.
And then when we met Mr. McLaren and he told us about high school students having to take final exams and having to pay for those exams, and many of these students and their families, they just can't afford it. And if they don't take the exam, then they cannot graduate high school, which means they cannot go to college or university. And so we wanted to help in that way as well by sponsoring high school students, by covering their exam fees so that they can be taken and they can go on to the career that they want to pursue.
We may be the face of what's going on in Jamaica, but behind us there's a number of people both in the United States and Canada, and we find that annually it helps with, of course, the high school students and the financial support, but there's always a great need in the schools every year for the school supplies, and we send barrels multiple times a year just to meet that need within a downtown area of Kingston. The need is so great. It's hard to cover really all the need that's there, but we cover what we can and we disperse between different schools.
And the Academic Motivational Performance Foundation has already been making plans for the new school year, providing much-needed school supplies to St. Albans Primary School in Denham Town and other inner-city schools.
They gave the students individual packages of books and bags and all of that. They normally give me a package for myself, so I will have those for students who are really in need, and just in case somebody bag may burst or somebody may come and there's something happened to their bag, it's not zipping up properly or whatever, I'll have a bag so I can just pass on the love.
Love that saw Tivoli Gardens High School gifting the family a citation for their life-changing support at their recent graduation ceremony in Kingston.
Pension reform took center stage in Parliament Tuesday when St. Catherine Eastern MP Denise Daly used her sectoral presentation to demand urgent changes. She warns that too many Jamaicans retire into financial uncertainty and says pensions must be paid on time, backlogs cleared and seniors protected from inflation. Nika Lewis reports.
A presentation that concluded with the leader of government business in the parliament saying it was among the best from the opposition benches. The Eastern St. Catherine MP since 2012 spoke passionately about a matter that concerns Jamaica's aging population, retirement. MP Daly says retirement should never mean financial uncertainty.
Months and even years pass. Meanwhile, pensioners are still left
wondering how they will purchase medication or simply put food on their table. Madam Speaker, that is unacceptable. Retirement should not be. Madam Speaker, retirement should not become a period of financial uncertainty after a lifetime of faithful service.
MP Daly also told the Parliament pensions must be paid on time, backlogs cleared, and safeguards put in place so inflation doesn't push seniors into poverty.
The opposition therefore is recommending that pension files begin verification process at least 1 year before retirement. Every document should be reviewed, every discrepancy resolved, and every approval completed before the employees leave the public service or the private institution. Pension payment should commence immediately upon retirement, not months and years after.
She also warned that as Jamaica goes digital, modernization must include accessibility for the elderly.
Another issue receiving far too little attention is the growing digital divide. Technology undoubtedly brings efficiency. However, efficiency should never come at the expense of accessibility. Many senior citizens do not even own a phone, much less smartphone. They don't think they're near where the internet is, Madam Speaker. Many have never even received a formal digital literacy training. And all you can hear about now, they must go online, go on up, go on stop, and all kinds of things. As a result, they often find themselves standing outside cashless banking facilities, confused and frustrated, trying to access their own money that belongs to them.
Daly's call comes amid growing concern about the pace of pension payments and the vulnerability of seniors in a high inflation economy. She urged the government to act swiftly, saying Jamaica's retirees deserve protection, not hardship.
National Housing Trust benefits aimed at making home ownership more affordable and accessible are now in effect. The policies include increased housing allocations for young people, financial support for first-time buyers, and lower mortgage rates for essential workers. Jaden Henry has more.
Administrative Support Manager at the National Housing Trust, NHT, Shara Luke, says 1 in every 5 homes in its developments will now be reserved, doubling the previous allocation for young home buyers.
So the Prime Minister would have announced that for every scheme development where there are houses, we'll be reserving 20% of that for our young people. What that means in practical terms is where we have a development that's a scheme, 1 in every 5 houses will be specially reserved or allocated for our young people 35 and under.
Also taking effect on the 1st of July is a new NHT benefit, allowing eligible young contributors to access an advance of up to $2 million from their loan entitlement to help cover the deposit on a home purchased on the open market.
Because for the first time, the NHT is also giving the greater opportunity for our young people to come into home ownership. So what that does is it allows our young people 35 and under to access an advance on your loan and eligibility or your entitlement to get up to $2 million to assist with the deposit.
Meanwhile, Assistant General Manager at the NHT, Sabrina MacDonald-Radcliffe, says contributors also have access to financing through 6 external mortgage partners, providing additional options for prospective homeowners.
We also have with us 6 external finance mortgage partners. They are JN, VM, NCB, First Global, CIBC, Scotiabank. We have the tax administration there if you're self-employed, along with our compliance team to help you along. Geoland is there, you're searching for land. Parish Council is there because if you're building, you need guidance. And we have other partners. Price Smart, because you're buying things for the house, home improvement. Lanco, Matthews and Clark, Arc, Manufacturing, Wicon. there's so many others, and a lot of smart energy providers as well. So if you want to make your home more energy efficient.
The NHT has also extended its hurricane relief program through to March 2027, giving eligible homeowners the financing for resilience upgrades, including reinforced roofing, safe rooms, hurricane straps, storm shutters, and other improvements designed to better protect homes during severe weather. Jaden Henry, CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues after this break.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
The greatest show on earth is here, and Fan Central goes into extra time for 39 days right throughout FIFA's Showpiece tournament, with a Pepsi in hand, of course. Catch the playbook with a tactical breakdown from our expert coaches. Come sit in our fan corner, where you have your say on the day's action. Fame or shame, who are the best or worst players of the day, and have a laugh as we share some of the best reactions on social media. After the final whistle, it's extra time. Fan Central Extra Time. 8 p.m. daily with 10 p.m. shows on select days where there are 8 p.m. match kickoffs.
Fan Central Extra Time is brought to you by the Pepsi Football Nation, where fans make the rules. Football, better with Pepsi.
Welcome back now to the Business Report with Joel Croskill.
Lots to reflect on in the Business Report today. Somewhere within the span of history between Canada's first capital and Jamaica's second, a day to remember, with the turning of a new leaf in the 159-year history of Jamaica's northernmost neighbour, and the recognition of 63 years of diplomatic relations. The High Commission of Canada in Jamaica hosted its 2026 Canada Day reception at the official residence in Kingston. More than 300,000 Canadians traced their heritage to the island, and considerably more than that number journey to Jamaican shores each year, representing the island's second largest origin market for visitors, with among the highest rates of return. His Excellency Mark Berman, High Commissioner of Canada to Jamaica, reaffirmed the mutual appreciation of an enduring commitment between the nations and the future strengthening of those ties.
Jamaica isn't just simply a neighbour in Canada's foreign policy. Jamaica is our anchor and our most significant bilateral partner in the English-speaking Caribbean. And that is not a title we use lightly. 159 years ago, Canada made a bet on itself that people of vastly different origins, languages, and traditions could build something greater together than any one of them could build alone. On Canada Day, we pause to ask, how are we doing? What have we built? And how, alongside partners like Jamaica, can we continue to build a more stable, a more prosperous, and more connected world?
made demonstrable to many within a moment of duress.
60 years of partnership means you already know what to do. You show up. And Canada provided over 1.4 billion Jamaican dollars in humanitarian and short-term development assistance to support Jamaica in the immediate aftermath of the hurricane. Looking ahead, the Canada-Jamaica relationship is entering an exciting chapter. Our bilateral conversations are deepening around migration and labor mobility, regional security cooperation, and expanding trade and investment in ways that create real economic opportunity on both sides, aligned with Canada's broader commitment to diversifying partnerships and building integrated, mutually beneficial relationships.
During calmer times, over US $220 million in trade is exchanged between Canada and Jamaica. In April 2026, Jamaica exported 16.9 million Canadian dollars and imported 9.62 million from Canada, resulting in a positive trade balance, with 2 of the top 3 exports of Jamaica to Canada representing the growing appetite for trade in cassava and baked goods.
In fact, I got to tell you, one of the great Canada-Jamaica success stories is culinary diplomacy. Somewhere along the way, the Jamaican patty became a Canadian institution. I certainly knew it before I came to Jamaica, and there are many Canadians who have never visited Jamaica, but have very, very strong opinions about where to find the best patty. Few bilateral relationships can claim to have improved lunch times so significantly.
In April 2026, the number 3 import of Jamaica from Canada was processed fish, without which the national dish of Jamaica would not be possible. However, Jamaica's agricultural connections to Canada have deeper roots still, as the remarkable legacy of the Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program, established in 1966, was recognized by both the State Minister for Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Orlando Terrelong, and the High Commissioner.
This marks the 60th anniversary of the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program, one of the longest standing and most consequential bilateral partnerships between Canada and any country in the world. Today, more than 9,000 Jamaicans make that journey every single year, contributing to Canadian agriculture, sending earnings home to Jamaican families, and weaving the two countries together in ways that no trade agreement can fully capture.
High Commissioner, you can be assured of the commitment of the governments and people of Jamaica to deepening this special relationship and to explore new avenues of cooperation to the benefit of our respective peoples.
When Canada deepens its relationship with Jamaica, we're not doing Jamaica a favor. We don't come to Jamaica just to look for opportunity. We come to Jamaica to build together. And the proof of that is not measured in months, it's measured in decades.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the relationship between Jamaica and Canada is one that continues to flourish, grounded in mutual respect, enriched by our peoples, and strengthened by our shared aspirations for peace, prosperity, and sustainable development.
Inspiring optimism for the opportunities that lay ahead.
In addition to government-funded development assistance, the Canadian private sector has a long history of contributing to Jamaica's economic development and prosperity. And our companies with expertise in key sectors, including clean technology, climate-resilient infrastructure, and agriculture, among others, are eager to collaborate with local partners to support post-Melissa recovery efforts. And Minister Hill, I'll be in to see you on Thursday to talk about it.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crossgill.
Thanks, Joel. Now, a family home is often more than just bricks and mortar. It represents years of sacrifice, hard work, and shared dreams. But what happens when a marriage ends and the house you helped build sits on a land that is legally owned by your spouse? Do you have a claim to the property, or can you be left with nothing? In this week's Query This, Akeem Orit examines a common legal dilemma and speaks with attorney-at-law Abel Don Foot about the rights available under Jamaican law. Here's Query This.
You have been married for over 15 years. Early in the marriage, your husband inherited a parcel of land where the title was solely in his name. To Together, you have decided to build your family home on the land. However, you were the one that paid most of the construction using your savings, took out loans in your name, and has receipts and bank records showing that you financed the project. In an unfortunate turn of events, the marriage has now broken down. Your husband insists that because the land is in his name, the house belongs to him and you are to leave with nothing. Well, attorney at law Abel Dunfoot says, under Jamaican law, you might have legal recourse.
If there is an assurance given by one party that this ownership right will pass on them, the other party relied on that to their detriment, then of course they'll be able to establish some level of ownership through the courts by virtue of a cause of action, which is known in law as proprietary estoppel.
In any matter that is litigated, he who asserts must prove. And so, the attorney says, the courts will distinguish between ownership of the land and ownership or value of the house built on it. In those instances, evidence is a must.
It is incumbent on the party suing or trying to establish this ownership right to come with the necessary documentation in order to establish the value. That is a form of evidence. So if it is that they went to the hardware, they purchased 2,000 blocks, 2 tons of steel, 100 bags of cement, there would be some documentary proof in terms of value, and that amount of money or contribution obviously would be taken into account by any court lawfully constituted.
In the course determining the case, the length of your marriage or the overall contribution to the family might affect the decision.
Of course, you don't look at the law in isolation. You try to consider all the relevant precepts at common law, statutory positions as well. One can look at the Property Rights of Spouses Act in order to possibly get some relief there. And issues that you raise would be contemplated in that regard as well.
Attorney Foote says there are some practical steps you should take before leaving the matrimonial home or filing a divorce to protect your legal rights and financial interests.
Preserve your evidence, gather what you need, and ensure that you have put your position clearly in relation to what it is that you want and what you're claiming. You make a lawful demand, and then if that is not acceded to by the other side, then certainly the courts, everybody's entitled to their day in court, so the court will be there to pronounce upon the matter and for it to be properly litigated.
Well, that's where we have to leave it today for Query This. Remember, if you have a legal dilemma or concern you would like us to query, do send an email to aart@cvmtv.com. I'm Akeem Arat. See you next week.
Thank you, Akeem. I now turn things over to Jordan, who will have sports right after this break.